So the first section I'm going to talk about is principles. So principles are really our values. It is those things that we hold dear to our hearts that govern the way we act and the way we conduct ourselves. So the committees talked a lot about, well, what are the principles that we want to see in this legislation? What's important for us to keep in mind? We want to make sure that this legislation stays true to the Nova Scotia Human Rights Act, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. These are laws that we all have to obey, right? We all have to live by. And the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which outlines articles about how we want people with disabilities to live. And our government, the government of Nova Scotia, has signed on to that convention. So we want to make sure that this legislation is complementary to these pieces of legislation. So these are some other things that people thought should be included in the legislation. And as I go through these sections, what we want people to keep in mind when they think about these sections, we want you to think about answering 3 questions. Did the panel cover everything that needed to be covered? Is there anything we forgot about that you think is important that should be included as a principle, for example? Or is there something that needs to be added? So, the panel said we would really like to see Nova Scotia be barrier-free. That means that nothing should keep any Nova Scotian from enjoying places, events, opportunities, and information that are meant for everyone. We want to see the removal of barriers be done in a way that works for everyone. Sort of like the concept of universal design, where you build something and it works for everything. So for example, how many of you have iPads or smartphones? So email and texting is something that everybody can do, right? Whether you're deaf or not deaf, everybody can text. So that's something that's been built so that everybody can use it. So we want to see more of that done. We're saying that both the public and private sectors, so government and businesses, they have to remove barriers that they put up. And all Nova Scotians have the right to make their own decisions and make their own way in the world. So those are some ideas of some of the principles that the panel came up with. So we want you to think about, well, what are some other principles, or have we missed something? So you can go to the website and you can look at the document in its entirety, and you can look at the other ones and say, yeah, I agree with all of these. And then I can respond. And you can respond in many ways. You can fill out the forms that are on the website. You can do a vlog and send it in. Or you can write and email something in if you want. So that's the first section. The first section is on principles.